The Galactic Council chamber was huge. Ambassador Lisa Crawford walked in and saw hundreds of alien beings. Some floated in water tanks. Others looked like walking rocks. A few had too many arms and legs. Lisa stood at the center and spoke into the translator. "We come in peace. Humanity wants to trade and be friends with everyone." The aliens started laughing. A crab-like creature named Crixtal spoke first. "Another weak species that thinks talking is better than fighting. What happens when someone attacks you, human? We believe we can solve problems by talking," Lisa said with a smile. The laughter got louder. A tall, glowing alien named Veltar stood up. "Species that talk about peace are usually weak. How many warships do you have?" "We have defensive ships," Lisa replied, "but we prefer to spend money on science and exploration." Captain Jake Morrison stood behind Lisa. He moved slightly, showing he was worried. Jake had wanted to show their strength, but the Earth government said to try peace first. "Defensive ships," repeated a bear-like alien named Thanevor. "How many?" "Enough for what we need," Lisa said carefully. "I see." Thanevor smiled with sharp teeth. "How many star systems do humans control?" "We live in 17 systems. We are building colonies in 12 more. We can share space with everyone." The aliens talked among themselves. Lisa heard words like "only 17 systems" and "easy target" through the translator. An old reptile alien named Morden raised his clawed hand. The room got quiet. "The council will think about letting humans join. For now, you can watch our meetings. You should learn how the galaxy really works." Lisa bowed politely. "Thank you. We want to be friends with all species." As they left, Jake walked next to her. "They think we are weak," he said quietly. "I know." Lisa kept smiling until they were alone. "Send a message to Earth Command. Tell them the peace plan is working exactly as we thought it would." "And the secret preparations?" Lisa stopped at their ship. "Begin Phase 2, but keep it quiet." News about the weak humans spread fast across the galaxy. On the war moon Kethtar, Thanevor talked to his war chiefs. "The humans have 17 systems but want peace," he growled. "Their colonies have no protection. Their fleets are small. We could take everything in 1 year." Similar talks happened everywhere. The Vorthak saw easy wins. The Zephyrians wanted to control human minds. The Scale Empire wanted human resources. None of them studied human history. On Earth, deep underground, General Paul Hayes read intelligence reports. The reports came from human spies watching the aliens. "Sir?" His assistant, Colonel Mary Foster, gave him a data pad. "The Krillian Empire is getting 3 battle fleets ready. The Vorthak are moving ships toward our outer colonies. The Scale Empire says our mining rights are under review." Paul rubbed his tired face. He had fought in the resource wars. He saw what happened when humans really went to war. Earth still had scars from those battles, and that was humans fighting other humans. "How long before they attack?" he asked. 2 to 3 weeks for the Krillians. They are not hiding their plans." "What about our fleets?" "All defense platforms are ready. The reserve fleet can launch in 12 hours. Operation Closed Door is ready." Paul walked to the big hologram showing the galaxy. Red dots showed hostile alien fleets. Blue dots showed human colonies. It looked like tiny blue islands in a Red Sea. "You know something, Mary? These aliens do not understand us." "What do you mean, sir?" "They think we avoid war because we are weak. They do not know we avoid war because we remember what we become when we stop holding back." The aliens kept making plans. They saw humans as soft and easy to defeat. They prepared their fleets and armies. They divided up human territory before the fighting even started. But deep in space, human ships watched everything. Hidden sensors recorded alien movements. Secret bases prepared for war. The aliens thought they were hunting sheep. They did not. No, they were walking into a trap set by wolves who had learned to wear sheep's clothing. On research stations throughout human space, scientists worked day and night. They studied alien technology from captured wreckage. They analyzed alien psychology from intercepted communications. They prepared weapons that had never been tested in battle. How long have we been getting ready for this? Asked Dr. Kevin Walsh, head of weapons research. Since first contact, replied his colleague Dr. Nancy Kim. The moment we knew there were aggressive species out there, we started preparing for the day they would test us. And if they pushed too far? Dr. Kim looked at the sealed vault containing their most dangerous creations. Then they will learn why humans tried so hard to avoid this outcome. In the outer colonies, families were quietly evacuated to safer systems. Miners and farmers were replaced by soldiers in disguise. Peaceful settlements became hidden fortresses. The aliens saw withdrawal and weakness. They did not see preparation and positioning. On the alien homeworlds, military leaders made speeches about easy conquest and rich prizes. Soldiers sharpened weapons and prepared victory celebrations. They did not know that every word was being recorded. Every plan was being analyzed. Every weakness was being catalogued for future use. The galaxy was about to learn a lesson that Earth had learned centuries ago during the resource wars. The most dangerous enemy is not the one who loves fighting. The most dangerous enemy is the one who hates fighting but is very, very good at it. Lisa Crawford sent her final diplomatic message to the Galactic Council. Humanity still hopes for peace. We still want to be friends. But we will defend ourselves, if attacked. The aliens read this as begging. They did not hear the warning hidden in simple words. The trap was set. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity waited with the patience of a species that had learned the true cost of war. Soon the galaxy would understand why humans worked so hard to avoid fighting. Not because they could not fight, but because once they started, stopping would be the hardest thing they had ever done. The first attack happened at sunrise on New Dakota. This was a small farming colony far from Earth. The Krillian war party came expecting easy victory. They thought they would find scared farmers with simple weapons. Instead, they found an empty town. Commander Grocknar stood in the town center. His huge body made long shadows in the morning sun. The town looked perfect, like nothing was wrong. But all 3,000 people were gone. Search every house, he told his soldiers. Find the humans. They did not find humans. They found cameras and listening devices everywhere. Hundreds of them. The devices had recorded everything the Krillians did and said since landing. Grocknar suddenly understood. It is a trap. Run back to the ships. Before his soldiers could move, the ground started shaking. But this was not from weapons. The humans had put explosives under every building. The whole town fell into a big hole, taking the Krillian soldiers with it. High above, the Krillian warship Bone Render got emergency signals from the ground. Then they saw something impossible. Human ships appeared from empty space. Captain Susan Clark commanded the human ship Vigilant. She sent a message to the aliens. Krillian ship, you attacked a peaceful colony. Leave now, and we will call this a mistake. On the Bone Render, Shipmaster Thokvar laughed. One small human ship against our mighty warship? You must be crazy. Sir, his sensor officer said. The human ship has very powerful energy weapons. I have never seen anything like this. Fire everything, Thokvar ordered. The Bone Render shot all its weapons at once. The attack should have destroyed any ship, the size of the Vigilant. But the weapons hit empty space far away from the human ship. Interesting, Susan said calmly. Now it is our turn. The Vigilant fired one shot. A beam of energy went through the Krillian shields like they were not there. It destroyed all the alien weapons but hurt nothing else. How is this possible? Thokvar whispered. Your shields use old technology from 300 years ago, Susan explained. We have studied them for a long time. Now leave immediately. The Bone Render flew away damaged. The crew would tell stories that other Krillians would not believe. News of the fight spread across the galaxy in hours. But the aliens understood it wrong. They did not see it as a warning. They thought it proved humans had good technology, but were too weak to use it properly. They could have destroyed the Krillian ship, said Veltar to other war leaders. Instead, they damaged it and let it go. This shows they are weak, not strong. More attacks came over the next weeks. Forthak pirates attacked human trade ships, but somehow the humans always knew they were coming. The pirates found empty ships or ships with too many defenses. The Scale Empire tried to take a human mining station. When they arrived, the station was empty and all equipment was gone. But they learned their fleet movements had been watched from the moment they left home. Every time, humans fought back just enough to stop the attack. Every time, alien forces left with stories of impossible human technology. And every time, the aliens thought humans were weak because they did not kill their enemies. On the Vorthak homeworld, crime boss Skrikstal talked to his council. The humans have advanced technology, yes, but they do not have the will to kill. They win through smart tactics and good equipment, but they do not press their advantages. This makes them useful but not dangerous. The Vorthak started planning bigger attacks. Far away in deep space, something ancient woke up. The Devourers had slept for thousands of years after eating entire civilizations. News about humans interested them. Prime Devourer Mathul sent his thoughts across space to his servants. These humans are strange. They have war tools but say they want peace. They beat enemies but let them live. This means they are either very wise or very weak. Which do you think, Prime? Asked his helper. We will find out ourselves. Wake up the Deep Fleet. If humans are wise, we will learn from them before eating them. If they are weak, we will eat them easily. On Earth, deep underground, human leaders watch the galaxy with growing worry. Our plan is not working, Admiral Karen Ross told the military chiefs. Every time we show mercy, they think we are weak. Every time we use small force, they think we cannot do more. General Paul Hayes looked at the war map. The alien psychology reports all said the same thing. Most galaxy species only respect strength. They think mercy means inability. So what do we do? Asked General Robert Kim. Start destroying planets to prove we are strong? No, Paul said quickly. That is exactly what we are trying to avoid. Intelligence Director Amanda Price leaned forward. There is something else. Our long-range sensors detect massive energy from the galaxy center. Something big is moving toward us. The Devourers? Paul asked. We think so. If they are waking up because they think we are easy prey. Paul walked to a sealed vault at the back of the room. Inside were war plans that had not been used since the resource wars. That was when humans nearly destroyed themselves and decided to be better. How long until whatever is coming gets here? 6 months, maybe 8. How long can we keep using our current strategy? Amanda looked at her reports. The attacks are getting worse. 3 more colonies were hit this week. Our people ask why. We do not fight back harder. Paul put his hand over the vault scanner. Because once we really start fighting, we cannot easily stop. But if we do not start... He opened the scanner. Red lights filled the room. Systems that had slept for many years started working again. Begin Operation Pandora's Box, he said quietly. And may God forgive us for what we are about to become. Deep in space, human spy ships watched alien fleets gathering. Secret human bases prepared weapons that had never been tested. Scientists worked day and night on new war technologies. The aliens thought they were testing weak humans. They did not know they were waking up something that had chosen to sleep. Soon the galaxy would learn why humans tried so hard to avoid war. Not because they could not fight, but because they knew what they became when they stopped holding back. The attack on Earth started on a Tuesday morning. The alien fleet was the biggest army in galaxy history. Over 10,000 ships from 17 different alien races came together. They all believed humans needed to learn their place in the galaxy. Leading them was the Devourer ship Endless Hunger. It was as big as a small moon and was alive. Around it flew the best Krillian warships, crystal ships from the Zephyrians, swarm ships from the Vorthak, and ships from every major war power in the galaxy. They expected to find Earth protected by the few hundred ships humans had shown before. What they found was impossible. Sir, the sensor officer on the Krillian ship Terror of the Void whispered, I count over 50,000 human ships. Shipmaster Korvan stared at his screens in shock. That cannot be right. They only have 17 star systems. The readings are correct, sir. And sir, some of these human ships are huge. Bigger than anything in our records. On the Endless Hunger, Prime Devourer Mothul reached out with his mind toward the human fleet. He expected to taste fear and panic. Instead, he found something that made his ancient mind pull back in surprise. The humans were not afraid. They were angry. Captain Lisa Morrison stood on the bridge of the human flagship Retribution. She was only 26, but had trained for this moment her whole life. That morning, she had been promoted to admiral. "All ships, this is Admiral Morrison." She spoke to the entire human fleet. "You know why we are here. For 2 years we tried peace, we showed restraint. We hoped someone in this galaxy would understand that we chose not to fight because we wanted something better for everyone." She looked at the display showing the massive alien army. "Today we teach them why that was a mistake." The alien commanders expected to hear surrender demands or pleas for mercy. Instead, they got a simple message on all communication channels. To the alien fleets, "You came here to conquer Earth because you thought we were weak. You attacked our colonies because you thought we would not fight back. You united against us because you saw our restraint as invitation." The voice was calm and steady. It belonged to President Helen Carter speaking from deep bunkers under Earth. "We want to be very clear about something. We did not avoid war because we could not fight. We avoided war because we knew what we would become if we stopped trying to be better than our nature." The message paused. "Today, you meet that nature." The human fleet moved forward. What happened next would be studied in military schools across the galaxy for hundreds of years. Most species would keep the records secret and hope their people never learn the details. The humans did not just fight. They showed warfare as an art practiced by masters. The first wave of alien ships faced weapons that went through their shields and armor like they were not there. The weapons shut down alien systems without destroying them. Crews found themselves helpless in floating ships, unharmed but completely powerless. "They are using some kind of mind weapon," reported Zephyrian battle coordinator Sylvan. "Our crews cannot move but are not hurt." But that was only the beginning. The second wave met weapons that changed in real time to beat their defenses. Energy shields that had protected ships for centuries became useless. Human weapons shifted faster than the shields could adapt. Armor, designed to stop nuclear explosions, melted under beams that seemed to attack the metal itself. By the third wave, alien commanders realized they were not facing better technology. They were facing better strategy. Every move they made, humans had expected. Every tactic they tried, humans had already prepared counters for. It was like humanity had spent centuries studying galaxy warfare and developing responses to every possible attack, which they had. "Sir, we are getting a message from intelligence," reported Commander Steve Walsh on the human ship Nemesis. Admiral Morrison opened the channel. "Go ahead, intelligence." "Ma'am, we are monitoring alien communications. They are starting to panic. Several fleets are trying to retreat, but they cannot get away cleanly." "Why not?" "Because we are not letting them." This was when alien commanders understood their real situation. They had not just attacked humanity's home planet. They had walked into the most advanced military trap in galaxy history. Human ships appeared from behind rocks where they should have been impossible to hide. Others became visible from stealth systems that made alien technology look like toys. Entire battle groups appeared from empty space, having used some kind of dimensional technology to stay hidden. The aliens found themselves surrounded, outnumbered, and facing an enemy that seemed to know their capabilities better than they knew themselves. "How?" whispered Corvin as his flagship's weapons were destroyed by precise strikes. "How do they know exactly where to hit us?" The answer came from Prime Devourer Mothul on the Endless Hunger. He spoke with something like respect, because they have been watching us far longer than we have been watching them. It was true. While the galaxy had dismissed humanity as newcomers, human spies had been studying every major civilization for decades. They knew the details of every ship design, every defensive system, the mental patterns of every major commander. They had prepared for this war before anyone knew there would be a war. But the technology and strategy were only part of the horror the aliens now faced. The real terror was in how humans fought. They were efficient. Coldly, terrifyingly efficient. Ships were disabled with surgical precision. Command structures were destroyed without harming crews. Supply lines were cut with minimal damage to other systems. It was warfare stripped of waste, reduced to pure function, and underneath it all was something that chilled alien observers. The humans took no joy in it. They fight like machines, observed Veltar, as her crystal ship drifted powerless among the wreckage. But worse than machines, machines do not understand what they destroy. These humans know exactly what they are doing, and they do it anyway. 6 hours after the battle began, it was over. Of the 10,000 alien ships that came to conquer Earth, 9,000 were disabled and floating in space. The remaining 1,000 had been allowed to escape, carrying records of what they had seen. The human fleet had 0 casualties. "Send a message to all retreating ships," Admiral Morrison ordered. "Tell them to spread the word across the galaxy. Today they learned why humans avoid war. Not because we cannot fight, but because we are too good at it." The survivors limped home, carrying with them the knowledge that would change the galaxy forever. They had met a species that had mastered war so completely that they chose peace instead. And now the galaxy would have to decide what to do with that terrifying knowledge. After the great battle at Earth, alien leaders from across the galaxy found themselves in a strange situation. They had come to conquer humanity, and now they were asking for a meeting with the humans they had tried to defeat. The meeting happened on Luna, Earth's moon. The conference room had been built for this purpose, but everyone hoped it would never be used. The same alien representatives who had laughed at human peace offers now sat quietly, waiting for humans to arrive. Ambassador Lisa Crawford entered the room, but she was not alone anymore. Admiral Morrison, General Hayes, and Director Price walked with her. The message was clear. Humans still preferred talking, but now everyone knew they could fight. "Honored representatives," Lisa began, using the same words she had spoken to the Galactic Council 2 years before. But her voice was different. Now, the humans no longer needed to ask for respect. Prime Devourer Mothul, contained in his special atmospheric tank, spoke first. "We came here expecting to find either wisdom or weakness. We found something much more disturbing." "What was that?" Lisa asked. "Restraint born of terrible knowledge." The room became silent. Finally, Veltar, the Zephyrian representative, found her voice. "How long have you been able to do what we saw?" General Hayes answered. "The technology? About 30 years. The strategy? We have been preparing for galaxy war since we first met alien civilizations. But you never showed this ability during our earlier fights," said Korvan. The Krillian commander's voice had no pride left in it. "Because we hoped we would never have to use it," Admiral Morrison replied. "Every time you attacked our colonies, every time you raided our ships, every time you tested our limits, we gave you just enough response to stop the immediate threat. We kept hoping someone would ask why we were not doing more." Director Price turned on a holographic display showing galaxy military statistics. "Every major species in this room has fought wars of conquest. The Krillian Empire has absorbed 47 civilizations in the past 200 years. The Vorthak Syndicate has strip-mined entire solar systems. The Zephyrians have enslaved the populations of 12 worlds." She looked around the room. "Do you know how many species humanity has conquered?" The silence stretched uncomfortably. 0. "Do you know how many worlds we have strip-mined for resources?" More silence. 0. "How many populations have we enslaved?" "We understand your point," Thanevor said quietly. "Do you?" Lisa asked. "Because I do not think you understand what that restraint cost us." She nodded to Director Price, who brought up another display. This one showed Earth during the resource wars. Cities burning, continents scarred by weapons that made galaxy technology look simple. "This is what we did to ourselves," Lisa continued. "When we turned our full abilities against other humans, we almost destroyed our own species because we were too good at war. We decided that the only way to survive ourselves was to become something better." The alien representatives studied the images with growing horror. "The terraforming technology you have seen us use on colony worlds, we developed it to repair the damage we did to Earth. Our medical advances, created to heal the wounds we gave each other. Our energy systems, built to replace the infrastructure we destroyed. Admiral Morrison stepped forward. Every technology we shared with the galaxy, every peaceful offer we made, every time we chose talking over fighting. All of it was humanity trying to prove to ourselves that we could be better than what we were. And every time you mistook that for weakness, General Hayes added, you made it harder for us to maintain that hope. Prime Devourer Mothul's ancient mind stirred. You fear yourselves more than you fear us. We should, Lisa said simply. Because we know what we are capable of when we stop trying to be civilized. Veltar's crystal form shimmered with distress. The efficiency of your attack, the precision. You disabled our fleets without killing anyone. Even in war you showed restraint. Because once we start killing, Admiral Morrison said quietly, we are very good at it. And we have learned that we do not stop easily once we begin. The room fell into thoughtful silence. Finally, Council Speaker Morden, who had stayed quiet throughout the meeting, spoke. What do you want from us now? Lisa looked around the room at the representatives of species that had come to conquer Earth and now sat asking for terms. The same thing we wanted 2 years ago. Trade, knowledge, and peaceful coexistence among the stars. The difference is that now you understand the alternative. And if we refuse? Thainver asked, though his voice suggested he already knew the answer. Then you will discover why a species that can do what we did to your fleets chooses to avoid war, Director Price said. Because the only thing more terrifying than humanity at war is humanity, after we have decided that peace is no longer possible. The negotiations that followed created what became known as the Terra Accords, the most comprehensive peace treaty in galaxy history. But more than that, they established a new understanding of humanity's role in the galaxy. Species that had spent thousands of years conquering others suddenly found themselves questioning their own natures. If a race as capable of war as humanity had chosen peace, what did that say about those who chose otherwise? The galaxy began to change. Trade routes that had been protected by military force were now secured by mutual agreement. Disputes that would have been settled by war were resolved through negotiation. The idea of conquest for its own sake began to seem not just inefficient, but primitive. Not everyone embraced this new order. Some species, particularly those whose entire cultures were built around military dominance, struggled with the implications. But they all remembered the Terra defense, and they all understood what would happen if they pushed humanity too far. In his final report to the Colonial Administration, General Hayes wrote, "The greatest victory in human military history was not won by our weapons or our tactics. It was won by demonstrating that our greatest strength is not our ability to fight, but our choice not to. We did not defeat the galaxy's military forces. We defeated the idea that military force was the ultimate solution." Years later, when alien students studied the Terra defense in their history classes, they would learn about humanity's technological superiority and strategic brilliance. But the wisest among them would understand the deeper lesson. The most dangerous predator is the one that has learned to be something else. And in the depths of space, on human vessels that now patrolled trade routes and protected the weak from the strong, crews would sometimes look out at the stars and remember what they were capable of when necessity demanded it. They would remember, and they would choose to be better. Because that is what humans do.